there, and welcome to You and Your Mental Health. My name is Esther Umachuku. About 25 to 30% of Nigerians suffer from mental illness, and less than 10% of these population have access to professional assistance. In the past, Nigerians were never comfortable with openly discussing matters relating to their mental health. But with enough sensitization, awareness, mental health conversations, people are beginning, let's not say have come to terms, they're beginning to come to terms with the fact that such cases and issues are on ground and will keep reoccurring. Right now, depression is a common term that a lot of people may think they understand. But on You and Your Mental Health, you will unlearn to relearn what mental health is all about, its risk factors, triggers, causes, and recommendations to resolving that particular aspect of our health. So, right here on You and Your Mental Health, we will discuss these issues weekly, provide answers to questions, and of course, we have a therapist who will answer these questions, advocate for you. And in the studio right now, we have her. Her name is Ayodeji Michael Oni, also known as Mtish. You're going to define what Mtish is. Why that name, Mtish?
Okay, so I always start from there. So Mtish is actually Mommy Tish.
Okay.
That's the name of my first daughter. So that's where Mtish came from.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I like it. It's finicky. Mtish.
And uncommon. Thank you.
Okay, so what is mental health? Let's just start with the basics. What does that mean?
All right. So, well, you started well in the introduction. When we talk about mental health, a lot of people don't like to discuss the issue of mental health. A typical Nigerian has little or no understanding about what mental health is all about. But thank God for the sensitization and the awareness that has been going on so far. So mental health basically is the psychological, the social, and the emotional well-being of anybody, of any person. It's your perception of yourself, how you think, how you feel, how you behave generally, your disposition to life, and your general well-being. That's mental health.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I actually like that definition. But then in this part of the world, let's be realistic. Before a lot of people began to accept that this is not a spiritual matter or that somebody has gone berserk, that there are several factors that creates the scenario for this thing to come up. Now, in Nigeria specifically, it is understandable if you say almost every Nigerian has mental health. With the current circumstances now.
Yeah.
If you are normal, you may become abnormal. But realistically though, for persons categorized to have mental health means that they cannot adjust to normal societal accepted behaviors. It feels like they're abstract or out of the normal sense of the characteristic of an individual.
Okay.
What elicits that particular aspects of our makeup, of our form as mental health? What causes it?
All right, so there are so many factors that causes the mental health disorder. I don't like to use the word illness or sickness, because these are part of the things that make people feel absurd and not want to open up with the issue of their mental health. So I like to use the word disorder because something that is not in place. So there are a lot of factors responsible. There are a lot of reasons why people have these issues, and it doesn't just start, it's an accumulation. That's what I say. It starts from childhood. So there are a lot of unattended issues while we're growing up. That's the adversity, that our background has cost us. A child that is not shown love while growing, a child that is deprived of basic amenities, basic things that he or she is supposed to have access to, you know, we have the gender inequality, we have the status, you know, the social status, we even have the physical outlook, the fact that your physical appearance is not accepted. I do say that, for instance, the fair complexion has been overrated.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So everyone wants to be accepted. There's a standard of acceptance in the society. These things are the causal factors. They are the things that causes the issue of mental health. And funny enough, we don't pay attention to them until they become accumulated to that big issue that we now see as a mental health disorder.
Now, there are certain indices that one could relate to mental health. Unfortunately, in this part of the world, it is not easily noticed. As a Nigerian, you already have routine. The ideal thing for you is to provide for your family. So they eat, your kids go to school, you pay your bills. But then there are other issues that emerge that may affect you psychologically while you go about these daily routines or dispositions. Now, when it begins to overtake your normal way you do things, how do you tell that something is going off? Something is no longer as it used to be, especially as a family member who is close to this individual, who could either be the man who is providing for the home, or right now, in most instances, in several homes, women. How do you begin to see the signs?
Yeah, so you're very right. Most times we don't even know when these things begins to set in. We feel everything is all right, you know, and in the real sense, things are not all right. You know, so abnormality becomes a normalcy. You know, so it starts from the fact that, you know, you just feel that you're stressed. Stress is one thing people should look out for when it comes to mental health. And stress, I say that is a thing of the mind. You can be stressed and not stressed.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So stress is a thing of the mind. Everyone is in Lagos, so no one is left out. Even the highly placed that we think they have it all figured out, they have everything going on smooth with them. They have cars, you know, they have big things that we do not we see them and we just envisage that they are fine, you know, and everything is perfect for them. The fact about mental health is that stress comes from within. It's not an outward thing. It's not because you are jumping from one bus to another. No. That's not what causes stress. Stress comes from within. So stress is something that people should look out for. You know, then restlessness. Yes, the fact that you just become restless. You feel you're fine, but, you know, something just disturbed about little things. Things just get at you. You know, so restlessness is there. Then there's anger. You're just angry for no reason. You begin to be fearful. There's another thing people should look out for. You're fearful. The fear of tomorrow. The fear of what tomorrow holds for you. The fear of what you're going to eat tomorrow when today has not even gone. You're already thinking about what happens the next day. Phobia is there. You just fret for things. You fret at the sight of people. You fret at the sight of situations. You know, so there are a lot of things people should take note of. That, you know, most times we just overlook those things, and if we are not careful, these are the things that, you know, becomes big issues and they affect our mental health.
Do you think that having limited access to finance and being part of an ethnic group that seems marginalized could be one of the factors that evokes these symptoms of mental illness?
Of course, everyone needs money. So the issue of finance is a big issue, but at the same time, like I said, the mental health, you know, anything that has to do with mental, you know, is psychological. It comes from the mind. It comes from within. It's not something that has to do. So the mental health is different from the physical health. The physical health are things that you can see, you know, they are on the outward signs that you can see. But when it comes to mental health, a lot of harm would have been done within before we begin to see signs without.
Now, post-COVID, especially in this part of the world, because in some countries they're still experiencing COVID, but let's just say post-COVID in Nigeria, there was there was recession. The economy seemed like it wouldn't resuscitate. A lot of entrepreneurs went into debt, and even individuals who had jobs lost their jobs. We heard recurring cases of suicide attempts on 3rd Mainland Bridge. If you recall the last one where this very, will I say, financially empowered young lady who just received a phone call, and then she just told the Uber driver to stop by the side of the Third Mainland Bridge. She came down and just entered the water. That you'll be wondering what extent of hurt or conversation that she was having on the phone that could have led her to do such a thing to herself. Other instances we've heard where these men attempting to jump through into the water, and people are asking, no, don't do it, and you hear them say, I'm owing somebody money, and they say, how much is the money? It's too small. They say, no, I cannot pay up that money, and they don't mind. They just want to end it. And on 2 occasions, such instances happened on Third Mainland Bridge. That was the scenario. One complained that he was accused of stealing, and despite telling them he did not steal, and giving a statement at the police station that he was not the one who did it, they still said that in the next 2 days, if he doesn't bring the money, he'll be dealt with. And so he decided to end his life. The other person too said the same thing. There was no food, there was no money to take care of his kids, so he jumped into the water. At what stage does it get to the level where they don't mind anymore? It's the best way they can handle that situation in their lives is just to end it, to stop existing.
All right, so that's the state of helplessness and hopelessness. When you feel that the whole world has come to an end, your world has practically crumbled, right in your very front, in your face, you just give up hope, and that's the point of hopelessness, the point of helplessness. When you feel that you cannot get it right, you cannot get a solution, and and the truth is, like I keep saying, the solution is not that you end it. The solution is that you find a way around it. That's it. And it comes from the place of, the changing of your thought pattern. When you change, most times when people deal with mental health issues, they have distorted, thoughts. They don't think right anymore. And so I say that, like I said when we started, it's not just something that happens over the night. No. Mental health doesn't happen over the night. Someone that is giving up is not giving up because of that issue that is happening now. It's as a result of things that have piled up over the years, Someone that over the years you just feel that nobody comes to your head, nobody comes to your rescue when you have issues. So when some things come, to light, some things happen, you just feel, I'm not even going to get help in this. How is this any different from the ones that have happened in the past? But if you have been in a position where you just always have a way around it, you figure things out, you don't just allow your situation to set you back. You see it as a setup to set you on. You will know that this one is not any different. If I could win the one in the past, if I could find a way around the issues that I've had in the past, then I can find a way around this.
Remember that to participate right here on You and Your Mental Health, all you need to do is to send your comments at VOP Television right there on YouTube. All right, you can also follow our social media handles at VOP TV. To ask further questions as well, Tish, your social media handle.
Okay, so you can check me out on Instagram at Ayodeji Michael Oni. Just write MTISH, MTISH. Also on social media, Esther Machuku, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All right, that's a wrap on this segment on You and Your Mental Health. Up next, we have another interesting segment, and the topic is something I feel every one of us needs to pay attention to. We'll be right back.